Welcome to another My Outlander Purgatory recap. This week, we kick off Season 7 of Outlander with a recap of the season premiere, A Life Well Lost. Ready? Then pour yourself a wee dram, settle in, and let's do this! Hi, everyone!
Hi, everyone!
I'm Tracey.
I'm Carol.
And we are My
Outlander
Purgatory! Carol, how are you?
I'm great right now, Tracey. How are you?
I'm having a little eye twitch, actually. Maybe it's all this like end of Droughtlander excitement, but my eyes like.
Were you? Did you not sleep last night because you were so excited to see Jamie Fraser back on that screen?
Back on the screen. Oh my God, it's all I can think about. All I can think about. I really can't believe that it's been. How long has it been? It's been. I'd say like.
It's been a damn long time because I couldn't remember anything that was going on. I'm watching and I'm like, wait, is it me? Did they change this? How long has it been?
Somebody put out, and I should find where it is because I know I retweeted it on Twitter. Somebody put out like a 5-minute recap of the entire series. And I was like, this is fantastic. This is just fantastic. Like, I mean, I didn't really need to be reminded of like, Frank and Claire or whatever, but it was really seamless. It really told the story of the whole thing. It spent a lot of time on last season and Tom Christie and Malva and whatever, probably because, that's
to get everybody up to speed.
Thing. Right.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
Send me that.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Carol, what are you drinking?
I'll tell you what I'm drinking, Tracey. I'm just going to move for a sec. Freaking Casamigos is the greatest thing ever. Little expensive when you go out to the bar. And lately in the world we live in, frankly, I'm a little concerned that they're not giving me Casamigos when I order it. But I'll tell you right now why I'm willing to pay for it. Because I don't wake up at 3 a.m. with a headache. So it's a little Casamigos, tiny bit of
What is that?
Tequila.
Oh, it's a brand of tequila.
Yes, I should have mentioned that. And it took me a long time. I didn't realize it was George Clooney's, and I was like, whatever. Yes, I'm making
really?
George.
It is?
Yeah, I'm making George Clooney. I'm buying a bush in his 10th vacation home in Italy, but whatever. It's a little bit of, Tracey, you know what I found? Skinny margarita mix. So I only use a splash. It is basically some tequila, little tiny splash of triple sec, lemon lime seltzer, and a little splash of a skinny margarita mix. And it is a yum margarita and makes Carol happy. What can I say? And you, Tracey?
Well, it's clearly summertime here in the Jers because I too am drinking a margarita. This one, you know how like you can sort of like alcohol doesn't really go bad in the refrigerator. I mean, like if you have a bottle of wine that you haven't finished in like, a month, it's probably not going to be very good. And maybe,
hell no, I don't drink wine after like a week and a half. My stomach can't handle it.
But like you could put together like this is margaritas that I made at least a few weeks ago. I like to make my own margaritas because I make my own skinny margaritas. And it's basically tequila, lime juice, freshly squeezed. What is it? Oh, not triple sec. It's orange extract, which is actually a nice substitute, and a little Splenda, and some seltzer or water. That's it. It's delish. It's delish.
Well, here's the deal, you guys. I don't know about you guys, but if you're a margarita fan, I've recently started past couple of years asking for skinny margarita just because they use a lot less of the you don't know in bars what they're using when it comes to a mixer. A lot of places aren't making a real margarita, and it's not just the fact that I don't want like it's so fattening. It's that it gives me a headache. I don't want all the sugar. It doesn't take, you're like, I have gotten to the point, oh my God, in Scotland, you guys, in Scotland, I was not finding they're not as big on tequila and certainly not margaritas. So everywhere I would go, I would just ask. They would always have a tequila or two, but they weren't big on margaritas. And I'd be like, can I have some tequila and seltzer with some lime? I mean, really, like, you do what you got to do. So it's kind of smart to have your own little drink that's easily made in a bar, because if they're not making a good margarita, you just tell them exactly what to do.
Yeah. And like, I don't like them overly sweet anyway. I like to taste the lime. So I like a little pucker,
I like a pucker, but not too much. I didn't have time to put freshly squeezed lime in this tonight. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's like I said, I made this a couple weeks ago and it's still delish. So Solange,
I'm laughing.
7.
Up your kilt. Up your kilt, guys. I'm laughing because if I tried to use that glass, I have a hard enough time with wine glasses. With this computer, oh my God, I would knock it over. I absolutely would.
This is actually like up on a pedestal, so it's not gonna, I'd have to really work hard to get it to like spill on the computer.
Yes,
I could probably make it happen.
You're in your office and I'm in the kitchen, and I tried to use my office. You guys, please be understanding if I have to use my office, because I can't with this kitchen. And then my kids don't eat because they're like, we didn't want to bother you.
Okay. So we had, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. And we like have sort of a hard stop, and we have a lot to talk about with the episode, but we also have a lot to talk about with other stuff. Like, okay, Carol, let's talk about a little Outlander news first. You guys saw our preview. Oh my God, it's all coming back to me like, wait, before we talk about our preview or Outlander news, you guys, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh my God, we forgot that again. Can you put this back in the beginning?
No, we're not going to do the beginning again.
Like and subscribe, please.
Like and subscribe. The more likes we get, the more fun things we can do.
Right.
We might. I mean, you. If we do this, it will have already happened by the time we get you this video. But like, maybe we're gonna try a live stream, live stream happy hour. We'll see. But it allows us to do all these like really fun things. So please like us, subscribe to the channel, and it's awesome. So we did do a little preview where we talked about like a lot of the news and stuff over the past year from Outlander. But one thing that came down the pike that was very interesting before we started talking about this episode is that Meryl Davis, who's one of the executive producers, did an interview where she pretty much confirmed that season 7 is covering all of book 7 and all of book 8, or most of book 8. And that the last season, season 8, will be mainly book 9. Carol, thoughts?
I mean, I'm literally
better get on that. Better get on reading that then.
I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. They're going to get rid of a lot of the ish. You know what I mean? There was also, I seem to remember a lot in Echo of like, Ian rode this way. And
I seem to recall a lot of this episode where Ian and Jamie rode this way.
Oh my God.
And they rode that way.
But you and I used to kind of like giggle at certain things regarding like geography and stuff. So I kind of feel like it's that, they can cut out a bunch of stuff like that. I'm very, very interested to know. I do, like I said, I do see the merge. I just don't know what they won't include.
I got nothing anymore in terms of trying to predict like what's going to be there and what's not going to be there. I got nothing because book 9, and again, you haven't read book 9, so
hold it. I am reading book 9.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know that we've discussed it.
Okay. I mean, I know you are, but you are not like necessarily sorry and like totally fiddling with this view here. You're not that far into it.
No, because I usually listen to it while I'm driving. And sometimes it's kind of hard to listen to if you're on a long car ride. It just depends. Like if it's like something, well, I won't say, but if it's something really exciting and like interesting information and good intel, then you're like listening, like, oh my God, But if it's, Jemmy eating cookies, then, what reads one way in the written word is completely different than listening to Davina talk about Jemmy's cookies.
Right.
So
I know. And I don't know. It'll be really interesting, but I think, and I'm basing it on this episode as well. I think we're going to start to see, and apologies because somebody decided to be outside with like a weed whacker or something. So, we're going to see some divergence from the books because there's a couple of things in this episode that go down that are like, this doesn't happen in the books, but okay.
Well, thank God, because I was like, my God, my memory's worse than I thought.
I know. There were things that I had to read. I had to go back and read because I was like, this, I like, there's one thing and we'll get to it, that I don't really like, but I was like, I can't say that I don't really like it. And like, how could Diana would never do that without like totally checking to make sure it doesn't happen in the book? And it does not. But I was like reading a bunch of things like, wait, is that what happens in the book? Wait, like, do it? What?
I was for not only forgetting the book, I was forgetting last season. I was like, wait, who killed her?
Wait, did she die? What?
Was it him? Was it him? And I don't even remember from the books, so oh well.
But I did not. I was gonna go upstairs and get my Echo in the Bone, but nothing from this episode is from Echo in the Bone. So I kept up Breath of Snow and Ashes up there so we'll have the ceremonial like exchange of the books next week. Because everything that happens in this episode is all sort of wrapping up stuff from Breath of Snow and Ashes. And you can tell, like, this episode was 100% like, I don't know, like, hey, guys, we left that. Oh, well, no, I actually know what it was. This season, the first 4 episodes of this season were supposed to be in last season. And then because of COVID and whatever, it got like messed up. So the first 4 episodes of this season are really like wrapping up stuff that were supposed to be in Echo in the Bone.
4? But there's only
I'm
8.
sorry, that was supposed to be in season 6. So they're probably going to come from Breath of Snow and Ashes.
So the first, that's half the season.
There's a couple of things.
Hold it. Do you mean this short season, or do you mean 4 episodes will be Breath of Snow and Ashes of the 16 double season?
Yeah. So okay. Season 6 was 8 episodes, I think, right? And it was supposed to be 12, but then COVID hit.
Right.
So they couldn't do the 4. So instead, that's one reason why season 7, and the entire thing is 16 episodes, because 4 of those episodes belonged in season 6.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying, is that those 4 episodes, you're looking at, I call it 7A and 7B.
Right.
So you're looking at both 7A and 7B together, and 4 of them are, okay, that makes sense.
Correct.
And then so there's going to be 12 episodes that encompass book 7 and book 8.
Correct.
Wow.
I know. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
I'm not super duper thrilled with that, but we'll see. You guys
my guess is that like a little bit of book 8 will maybe spill into book, the last season.
Right.
Whatever. I don't know.
We'll just get ready, because Carol is going to have plenty to say when we start getting into things that are further down the line. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. So let's start. The only other thing is, so if when I'm hoping that you're going to be seeing this, things are a little wacko with, and we talked about this in the preview a little bit, that we normally, as you know, when it was a lot easier for us when the show dropped on Sundays, because we had time to do this, watch the show, talk about it to you fine folk out there and put together the video that you will be watching and get it out to you by the end of the airing on Sunday. We're not going to be able to do that on Fridays. And now that it's on Fridays, it's just not happening because that gives us a 48-hour turnaround from when we actually get the copy of the show. B, it takes longer than that to do to make the videos. C, we have jobs and families and lives and shit like that. So, and D, sorry, but it's Friday night on the summer, yo.
Friday night.
We're not getting any younger. We have to go out every opportunity that we can. So we will not have the videos Friday nights. We will likely try to aim to do the same thing that we did, that we've done all along, which is Sunday nights. And we likely will not be able to live tweet the episodes on Friday nights when they air at 8:00. But maybe, and I haven't even checked the schedule yet, maybe we'll see if there's an airing on Sundays at some point and try to do it then. Or we'll just, give you a different kind of treat, whether it's some sort of a live show or something. We'll figure it out. All right. Without further ado, here we go. Wait, let me get my notes up here. Come on. Okay. So season 7 has started. Episode 701, A Life Well Lost. The writer is Danielle Barrow, who I don't think is a new person. I think that name is familiar. The director is Lisa Clark. I think that's a new director only because I had a college roommate who was also named Lisa Clark.
That's probably right.
And so I think I would remember that. But, and if you're listening, Lisa Clark, that was my college roommate, which I don't think you are.
Hey.
Okay. So our cold open is, we do have a cold open, and it's Claire is getting hangit, as they say.
Yeah. That was a fake out, don't you think? It was such a fake out.
I think it was a fake out. I mean, were you ever in, oh my God, what's going on? Or were you yeah, who's dreaming?
I was dreaming? Yeah, who's dreaming? Or I was like, when is Jamie going to come riding up on a white horse and say, I'll thank you to take your hands off my wife, and cut so once her feet were dangling, I was like, hold up.
I know. I was like, yes, I thought she was dreaming. And I was like, okay, yeah, she's dreaming, and she's gonna here they go, and then she's gonna wake up
yeah.
And then but she didn't. Her feet were dangling. I was like, oh well, this is interesting. And then you see that's Jamie, and it's not even Jamie dreaming. It's Jamie and allowing himself to go to that place so that he's.
Yeah. I was thinking about, I don't know why, I just was taken back to season 1 and she and Gayless.
What, in the jail?
Yeah, I was just taken back to that whole, her when. It was just during that dream, just with the hang it and everything. I was just all of a sudden I started thinking about the two of them in the when they were held in the giant hole or whatever it was. So now my book. Hole. Do you guys ever do this? Does your book memory get confused with your show memory? And then you're like, oh my God, that's just what's in my head. Was that not in the show? Anybody who didn't read the books, I'm like, wait, did they put him in a giant hole in the show? Well, I don't remember.
I mean, there's 3 things too. There's the book, the show, and what you remember about the book.
Oh,
because
Lord.
there's sometimes things I'm like, I remember reading it. I remember where I was when I read it. This happens, this happens, this happens, and it doesn't happen. I'm making it up in my head.
Right.
So,
good. I'm glad to hear that, and I hope you guys are like that too, because it makes me feel less old and cuckoo every day of my life.
Right. It reminded me of when Jamie was about to be hanged at Fort William, maybe. I don't know. He's talking to somebody. There's a whole line of them who are gonna get hanged. They were just they were it was 2 for 1 hang it day or whatever at Fort William, and I forget who saved Jamie that time. I think it was Blackjack, actually, wasn't it? Oh my eyes, so twitchy. I don't remember, but that's an Outlander thing. It's the hangit fake out, except Roger, he really got hangit and he knew what to do to like survive.
Right.
Okay. So, and we also get a little bit of a Jamie voiceover, which is kind of interesting because we don't often get that. But he's ready. He is ready for revenge. He is ready to rescue Claire and take no prisoners.
He killed me. I gotta say, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there like me who like that was hard for me. When he said, I cannot let my darkest fears cripple me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, too late. Like, been there.
Yeah, we just saw your darkest fears with the cold open, Jamie. So too late for that.
Well, I hate to say, but I was thinking about my own life, and I was like, yeah, my darkest fears. I'm still able to make a good margarita. That's all I know. It's upsetting. I'm sorry. It's like really all of this stuff and the whole like everything he said in that whole thing. I was like, oh my god, this is bad. So it's a very powerful, storyline, and it's a very powerful. They did it very well.
It was very effective. Yes, agreed. So let's talk a little bit because I don't think we discussed this in the preview. We get our season 7 starting, and it's sung by, I'm pretty sure this is right, none other than Sinead O'Connor.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
I feel like I meant to fact check that, but like
I feel like I heard that forever ago, but forgot it last night when I was watching.
Yes,
it was good.
I have to say I really like it. I really liked it. It's distinctive. It's unique. No, it's not. It's not, the traditional Scottish sound, but I really liked it. I love that they are back to like, maybe it was Voyager. It must have been Voyager, where they have like one of the last shots is like the ship on the sea with like the sweeping view and everything. And then you get to the final shot is like horses galloping Poldark style across the moors. I mean, the plains or whatever. It's right that way.
Oh my god, really Poldark! I haven't thought of Poldark. Oh no, you had me in the dark Poldark place.
Did we talk at all? And somebody mentioned this in the comments, but I don't think we talked about this. That Sam Heughan is doing a new show or movie or something with Demelza, and it's like, oh my god, worlds collide.
Oh, Demelza. God, we got to watch Poldark again. Let's just do a whole video during Droughtlander. Let's watch Poldark and we'll do it on that.
You know who would totally do that?
Who?
Is my husband. My husband was a Poldark fan because Poldark was so good. Like, because Poldark had great villains. George Warleggings is like the villain to end all villains, and he normally doesn't like, he doesn't watch Outlander, he doesn't like, he's not a big like historical fiction kind of guy, but he really enjoyed Poldark. Both of
he enjoyed Poldark in the you must pay the rent, I can't pay the rent type of way.
100%. So he would do it. So all right, that's the next thing on the docket. Okay. Yeah, because we're only gonna have eight weeks of this, and then we're gonna have all other Droughtlanders. So Poldark, we'll do it. Rewatch a Poldark
and turn Washington spies.
We get to that too. Okay. So all right. So I want to mention the Easter egg, which is, if you guys are new to us, and that'd be so awesome if we had like new people. We call, like, how they have the starting and the music, the part where they're like Diana Gabaldon, based on Diana Gabaldon's work, Ron Moore, executive director, writer. There's always, we call this an Easter egg because it always has like, there's a little snippet of something that has meaning. And sometimes it's really obvious what it is. And other times you don't get it at all until you've watched the show. And then you're like, oh, I get it. So we call that the Easter egg. And the Easter egg was kind of like Jamie walking towards the house, whatever. But what was really great was that it was more Sinead O'Connor music or singing, but it was whispered like this. It was like, And it was so like scary and evil and like, oh my God, it was so creepy. Like, did you love that?
Yes, it was very cool. It was very cool. And I can't remember, did we already, Jamie was talking. Was Ian in before they went to, has Ian been in it yet? Because I wrote something down.
I think so.
I just wrote something down about something that I thought was a little cheesy. But I don't know if they did it yet or not.
I think it was before that.
Is the next thing, all I know is let's go get my wife.
Oh, I thought that.
I'm sorry. I was like, you know what?
What? There's a movie that's like, now let's go get your daughter. Or let's go
Poltergeist.
Get your daughter. Oh, that's
Poltergeist.
That's exactly what I thought of.
Now she was like,
now let's go get your daughter.
That's what it reminded me of. It was just a little hair too cheesy. And don't get me wrong, you are talking to the girl who loves the kind of cliched quotes out of Jamie's mouth. But oh Lord, I was like,
It was super like Taken too. Like Jamie Fraser played by Liam Neeson.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
That is exactly. It just kind of stuck out a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit.
Yeah. Okay. So we open up and Claire has been moved to a real jail.
It's girls' night in jail.
It's Orange is the New Black, circa 1776 or 75 or whatever. I think it's 76 at this point. I'm not really sure. But Claire has been moved to a real jail. She's a roomie. Her roomie's name is Sadie. And yeah, I mean Claire's kind of like, okay, I'm in jail now. Great. Awesome. And Sadie is clearly like looking, Sadie is looking for some coinage. I guess maybe at first I was confused. At first I was like, okay, is this right after? Because I did remember that in season 6, like, doesn't Tom Christie give her money?
Oh, Jesus. I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember. But like Sadie seems to think she has some. Sadie's a little different. Do you remember this part of the book?
I don't. And it was so much fun in the show that I would totally go back and read it because it was just, I was loving it. And I literally was like, oh, Sadie, my girl, Sadie's a fun one. I want to hang with Sadie because she definitely livens up girls' night in the jail.
Well, if you recall in the book, Sadie was a little handsy. They didn't they left that part out, but yeah, Sadie was a little handsy.
With Claire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Claire wasn't buying what Sadie was telling in the book.
They have a term for that in real life. Gay for the stay.
So they didn't go into that, which is fine. But Sadie was a good character. Sadie's a good character in the book, and she's a good character here. But what's really interesting is that like already the word is out that Claire is like not only a murderess, but she's a freak. Like, yeah, didn't you dig out that baby? Like, like everybody is like is I don't know. Like the entire world at this point knows what Claire has done.
Yeah. Because back then, like holding the sheet up in front of your face while the C-section is performed is not exactly commonplace. So they're like, my girl just.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was so
shocked.
funny.
Nobody seemed, I mean, other than the wife for like 5 seconds, nobody seemed to be nervous. If I was in that jail, I would have been like, you can sit over there and I'm going to stay way the hell over here.
Well, I mean, it is jail. Like, it is.
I don't know. Yeah, but she was, what's her name, was there for stealing or theft or whatever. I mean, that was beyond hardened criminal. That was like criminally insane if she had been guilty.
But they didn't, like, that's the thing. Like, later on, Sadie takes the fall for Claire. And Claire's all like, oh my God, thanks. That's so nice. But what Claire doesn't know is that back in that time, like being a murderess was like, okay, yeah, you plead, you know, insanity, great, whatever. But like forgery that's a hangit crime right there.
Yeah.
So Sadie knew what she was doing. Sadie was like, oh, I'm the murderess. Me. She's the forger. So,
And I loved how Claire was like, Sadie. Like she was one of her kids. It's like, oh my God, Claire, all I could hear was Tom. Like, oh my God, even in jail, she's bossing everyone around.
oh my God, too funny. So, okay. So yeah, So the problem here is that Sadie's like, oh yeah, you know, the judge like kind of like, you know, ran away and because there's like really, you know, like it's not good in town. And Claire's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. It all dawned on her at the same time. And she's like, the courts would be closed for years. and I'm just like, I think I might have written it down. I'm not looking at any of my notes. I'm having so much fun with this conversation that I'm not reading all the stuff that I wrote. Literally, I said at some point, like, Jamie better get in there with some cows or something because Claire's going to be stuck for a long time.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not a good thing. All right, so then we go to Jamie and Ian, and I just have, like, they go this way and that way, and this way and that way. Ooh. You know, so they're off to, like, find Claire. Yeah. So now, next we get to Bree and Roger. So, Roger, just to remind everyone, did I skip something?
No, you said next we get to Bree and Roger, and I went, excuse me.
Oh.
This whole
Bree
scene.
Roger, I forgot about this from season 6 because I actually went back and watched a little bit of the recap we did when we were in Scotland, the live the live recap,
right?
And I forgot that Roger and Bree had nothing to do in season 6.
And I think we talked about that during the books too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, not even during the books, but like they just like they had nothing to do at all. I forget if last season they tried to go back and failed, or if it was this season before.
I think it
was last season.
No, I mean, you're right because it was a cliffhanger, wasn't it?
Not really. Like
you knew they didn't make it, and then it went into this end of
No, you know what? It was last season because Ian went with them, and Ian at that time was still like, I'm just back from the Mohawk, but I'm not telling anybody why I went.
I don't remember having a whole
I'm really depressed.
Season. I don't remember having a whole season in the same season. Oh, whatever. I could go on and on. I don't remember. I thought it was at the end of a season.
No. This was like an episode 2 or 3. I think they just were like, I don't even think there was a reason. No spoilers, but like there wasn't really a big reason. They just were like, okay, yeah, no, we never intended to like stay, you know, our whole lives here. So we're gonna go back, great, whatever. And I think they went back with Ian.
Y'all don't have any good tequila here, so we need to get back.
And that's not something that Bree can invent. Even I can't work miracles. But yeah, so they had nothing to do last season. So, you know, it's a little, I think that we're still sort of a little bit like on the Bree and Roger bandwagon of, you know, okay, are they going to be interesting this season or what?
Right. And I couldn't figure out did she not know about her mother? This is one of the things that I was like, dear God, I can't even remember last season. Like, does she not know what's happening with her mother? Because she's laughing.
I guess not.
Life is fine. And I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I guess not. You know what? That's an excellent point. No, she must not know. And it's like, I'm trying to remember what happens in the book, and I don't really remember.
That's all right. That's all right. Keep going.
Okay.
Tracey has
Anyway.
places to be, so we can't
I do.
dilly dally
Oh
tonight.
my gosh, what time? Yeah. Is it low? Oof. Okay. Yeah.
She has places to go and people to see. Ignore this. Just nothing to see here or here. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. So Roger is in minister school. And see why this is a little confusing is because Roger goes to minister school in the books, but Bree doesn't go with him. Roger goes by himself. So having Bree there is a little bit like a little wacko. Confusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he is going to go, he's sort of doing like some field work, you know, he's sort of doing like hands-on training here because it's not enough to just study. It's like, you know, when you're like an intern, like a medical intern, you know,
right.
Yeah, you can be in the classroom, but you got to work on the bodies too.
He's got to be a little more reverendy.
Yeah. So he's learning how to be reverendy. So they're going to this British Army camp. I'm not quite sure exactly where it is, but you know, they go and they're going to minister to the prisoners who are the Union people. And I mean, again, at this point, like, I think that like Roger isn't like, he's not waving his like Union, like I'm a rebel flag. He's just kind of like staying mum on where he stands with all this. Okay. So they go over and, you know, the prisoners are like, oh, well, you were at Alamance. Great. Like, what'd you do? Like, you know, wussy, like, did you do anything?
They were so mean.
They were mean. And the head reverend, the teacher reverend is like, give them some advice. And Roger's like, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and God will grant you whatever you want.
So friggin' funny. I was in hysterics.
I know. This is not from the book, by the way. This is not.
I have to be honest with you. I could totally see Diana Gabaldon writing that. So I was sitting there like, is this in the book? Like I couldn't remember because I could see her doing that. That was so damn funny.
I mean, if it's in the book, I did not find it. Because
no, I'm not. Tracey, it's me. You know, I don't know. You know way more than I do. I
mean, it might be, but it might be like Roger might have had this moment with Wendigo, but I don't think he did. I feel like
funny is I kind of remember referring to him as Donner all the time. I don't remember calling him Wendigo. I mean, that was his name.
No, I mean we did. It's because it's easier to remember.
Yeah.
But so Roger says this, and like this guy's like, Ali? And Roger's like, oh. And
Roger's like, what did you say?
And so it is Donner, who we have not seen since season 5. Season 5 is when all the Claire shit went down.
It wasn't last season.
It wasn't last season. It was season 5. Donner is the guy who was one of Richard Brown's posse who kidnapped Claire. And they made the connection through the beat. He's like, do you know, does the name ring a bell to you? And Claire's like, So yes, he, you know, when Jamie was all like, kill them all, clearly Donner, like, you know, knew to skedaddle. And now he is a prisoner of war. And he begs Roger to help him because he just wants to go home. He doesn't like it in the past. That they're all mean in the past. And, you know, they're all like, the Indians don't like appreciate what he's wanting to do for them. So he's done. He wants to go home. So Roger's like, okay. Great. Okay. So
what did you think though? Did you buy it? Did you buy what he was saying? I was very fun. I was very like torn. I was like, you know, you douchebag, like you, but at the same, well, we'll get into it more because we have to have the Bree discussion, which I have plenty to say about.
I kind of bought it.
I bought it too. This is what I'm saying. I was like, I was trying to remember and I was like, is he just saving himself or he kind of had a point. I mean, what the frick was he going to do? And then, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, I bought it. I understood. If I were Roger, I would probably, now, I mean, again, to Bree's point later, like, you know, didn't he like participate in the raping of my mother? And the fact that he like didn't actually rape her doesn't make him any less culpable, you know?
Okay, so okay, are we going to talk about that? Because I have stuff in between. They're not the same scene.
Well, we'll put a pin in that and we'll keep going here.
Yeah, because I went in order.
All right. So we're back at the jail. All the women are doing all their chores, whatever, and Claire gets summoned by like redcoats.
And Sadie, real quick, is for anybody who likes The Quiet Man, is Micheline. Me throat. Like every 5 minutes. All right, anyway, keep going.
Still haven't seen The Quiet Man, by the way. I know. It's a bone of contention. But I'm saving it for a rainy day.
Tom Stark is going to reach out. Tom is going to reach out, and you are going to feel it. You are going to feel the wrath of Tom.
Okay. All right. So meanwhile, Jamie and Ian are still going this way and that way and this way and that way. They finally get to town. They meet up with Tom Christie. Tom Christie has lost the trail. Tom Christie was given one job and one job only.
You had one job.
To make sure that Claire was okay, and he couldn't even do that. So Jamie's like, so they go to the jail. Jamie strong arms, you know, like the prisoners. They get the wife of the prisoner warden guy, whatever. And basically we learn that Fort Johnston, I don't know where that is, but it's probably nearby. And there's all sorts of unrest going on there. So I think the jailer was sent to like quell the unrest at Fort Johnston. But meanwhile, Claire is no longer in the jail. She's been sent to the Redcoats to do, we don't know.
How about when are you going to discuss Jamie and the sheriff's wife? How'd you like that little interaction?
I did. I liked it, and I liked the sheriff's wife too, because the sheriff's wife was like, "Bro."
I liked when the sheriff's wife,
everything. Really,
and she kind of got not snarky with him, but like, yeah. And how about when he asked her, and she acted like she didn't know, and he did a mock slight lunge, and she was like, and then she was like, and she confessed. And I was like, look at Jamie, like Mr. like would never hit a woman. And he was like, not that I thought he would do it, but it was pretty mesmerizing to watch him do that. I thought it was great.
I also liked Ian. Ian throughout this whole thing. Ian had like the blasé-ness of this whole thing through this whole thing that like I love in the books.
Who?
Ian's just like, what?
Who?
Ian.
Who? He was barely in it. I was
but when he is in it, he's
you're right. You're right. I just wanted more Ian.
Of course. Well, like, when don't you want more Ian? But he's just like, yeah, all right, uncle, whatever. Yeah.
All right.
Sure. Great. Yep. Blasé Ian is the best. He's just the best. Okay. So we do find out in the next scene what happened to Claire. She's on a ship. You guys, in Outlander, nothing ever good happens on a ship. Ever. If some character gets put in a ship, I mean, turtle soup happens on a ship. So that's
Jesus! Take that back.
But in general, and especially when Claire is not with Jamie and gets put on a ship, it's never good. It's never going to be good.
No. When they're split up, it's never good.
No, it's never good. So as it turns out, she was summoned because she's a healer, and it's on this ship is the governor, the new governor. We like knew the old governor because he and Jamie were sort of like acquaintances or like, friends. But this is the new governor and his wife, and they have taken refuge on this ship if it's interesting to like Google this whole, Fort Johnston and North Carolina at this time, because the governor was kind of run out of town, basically. And he went on the ship sort of for his safety. And he sent his wife and the kids back up north. They ended up going back north. But the wife of the governor is expecting, and I guess she's having some issues, and they need Claire to sort of take care of her. And again, this is so funny because, like, I get to what we were talking about before, like, Claire gets there and she's like, okay, I'm the healer, like, whatever. And the governor's wife is like, oh, you're the murderess. Oh yeah, you're the talk of the town. And it's just like, for an area that's like in 1776, like no internet, no phones, no like fast mail,
right?
Newspapers like once in a blue moon. News sure gets around quickly over there.
News gets around. It's like they've got the AP. It's like coming down the
it's
somehow
like
coming
TMZ.
down the wire.
It's like TMZ without the internet.
I had to laugh because Tracey and I, both being curly girls, not that you could tell lately, but the wife was like, saying something about Claire's hair. And I was like, she's right. She's friggin' right. And I have written down, Claire's hair looks terrible. Just because it was cut off doesn't mean she can't wear it up. She looks like a crazy woman. For God's sake, woman, rip a shred of something and shove it in your head. And my God, it looked
in
terrible.
This exact spot. I think that she must have had the worst looking hair in this scene, because I have written down, poor Claire's hair is dreadful.
I here's the thing. I have to give it to hair and makeup, because I think it was absolutely done on purpose, because, these people they know what they've heard. They don't know that Claire isn't a crazy woman. So the hair and makeup people, they don't want her coming off looking like a refined, stately woman. They want her to look like she might be cray. So right. I was like, I can see why they did it, but Jesus God, it looked terrible.
I mean, it was awful. It was just awful.
God bless her.
Oh my God.
God bless Kate. All the stuff she puts up with.
I know.
For our enjoyment.
Yeah, I gotta think that's a wig, but like, oh my God, it was really bad. It's so funny. Like we had the exact same thing at the same time.
Like, yes, at the same time. And meanwhile, she's so stunning, it doesn't even makes her look cray, but it doesn't make her look bad, if that makes sense.
I know. All right, so we're at the point now where Roger gets caught by Bree. Like, he's like, oh, I'm just going to like spread the good news here with me in my bag. And Bree's like, that bag's really full. What's in there? Oh, like, are you like going on a 3-day trip, Roger? Because look, here's all these apples, and here's a hammer. Like,
if I had a hammer.
So now Bree, because Bree like has a brain.
Donner out of.
She figures out. I guess he must have told her that he saw Donner like earlier. Like he must have already told her that. Yeah, she kind of knew. And
I didn't pick up on that. I just thought, yeah, okay, you're right, though.
Well, yeah, because like, how would she know that he had seen Donner? Because she wasn't really there. Like, she went off to like with the wives, I think, to do whatever when he originally saw Donner. She wasn't there.
I need to go back and watch that, because I sort of feel like I don't know. Anyway,
I feel like he must have just told her off camera, whatever.
Yeah.
But so they get into a whole big like argument, like. She pissed because he's going to break this guy out of jail. And like, after all the stuff that he did to her mother, it was a really good, conversation. Like I totally forgot about what Roger had seen. Like Bree's point was a good point about like, like you wouldn't have stood by like when, Bree, like after the Stephen Bonnet stuff or whatever. And Roger was like, yeah, I might have. And I've forgotten that whole scene with Roger on Stephen Bonnet's boat where Stephen Bonnet like threw the kid overboard.
Right.
There was like some illness or whatever. I totally forgot about that. Like the whole conversation with Bree and Roger, it was like, okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, I get what you're saying. Like it was really like all the points of view made sense.
I didn't think so at all. 100%.
Okay.
This is what I've been like waiting to talk about. I thought Bree was unreasonable as anything. And the only thing keeping me from like was that, I felt for the girl because of everything she had been through. But at the same time, like, he didn't stand up for my mother. Dude, there's like 10 guys here who are going to shank him at the ready. Like, what exactly did you expect him to do? And I get the whole idealistic, one man, he couldn't have done. There's nothing he could have done except for get himself killed. I'm sorry. That is what I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
well, I mean, I think
and realize that this guy had no shot, no chance. And frankly, I was a little disgusted at Bree because she wanted, if Roger can do something to help this guy out and help this guy get back, how would she feel if she was trying to get back, which she already did and couldn't? How would she feel if she just wanted, I loved it when he was like, he just wants to go home. And like, I was like, 1,000% thank you. Like, and I don't like him. I'm not his fan because, he was running with those guys but the guy was freaking trying to survive. Like, what did she think he was going to do by himself to save Claire? He was going to get himself killed is what he was going to do if he did anything.
I see. I understand. I get it. I totally do. But I do see her point. I mean, like, think about if it was Jamie. If it was Jamie would have been like, here, can I borrow that hammer a minute? Oh, sure, here. Jamie wouldn't care. Jamie would be like, you were there, you didn't do anything, you're done.
Unless this is Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, how many of those other guys in Brown's posse were coerced rather than, like, we're like, yeah, let's get some.
Well, from what we saw, there were enough of them that were like, yeah, let's get some. And I feel like unless this is one of my Korean dramas where there's one guy who's trained thoroughly and is a black belt and knows jujitsu and everything else and takes on 10 guys and gets all of them.
I wish they would pull that out on Outlander, by the way. I wish somebody like knew karate. And
oh my God. Tom used to say, like, he always thought it was so funny in fight scenes, no matter what it is, Outlander, whatever, where one guy is like and like the other ones he'd be like, they just stand and wait their turn to like beat on him. Like, so the one person is able to just get 10 people. The bottom line is that's not reality. That's ridiculous. Donner would have gotten killed. And I'm sorry, but I did have a little bit of, empathy with the guy. Like it was either sit there and shut up and stay alive, or it was just because he didn't do anything doesn't mean he didn't want to, and doesn't mean he won't feel horrific for the rest of his life.
Right. I thought we did a good job of laying out all the points of view, or both points of view.
Exactly.
And we changed.
They did do a good job of laying out both points of view. I'm just saying I didn't agree with hers, but it is what it is.
Okay. So yeah. So I mean, I get it. I get both. I get your point of view. I get everybody's point of view. I just was a really good job of like, here's how I see it. Here's how I see it. You can sort of see both sides. You feel a little more strongly towards Roger's point of view. I guess I'm a little more in the middle somewhere, but
I believe I agree. I agree 100% with Roger's point of view and 0% of Bree's point of view.
It was it was a really good scene, and I think that everyone can agree with that.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Obviously, I have empathy and sympathy for Bree and what she went through. I'm not saying somebody shouldn't try to help you if they can. I just don't think Donner was in a position to help Claire.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. All right. So moving on. We're back on the ship, and the governor wants to attack Fort Johnson. And his aide is like, maybe that's not like so well advised here. Like, maybe we should go north where like there's not a little issue, whatever. And it's just so funny. So Claire's like, at the doorway, she's like, okay, so here's what I'd like to do. I need some supplies, so I'm just gonna go out and get some. He got handed to Claire. Good for her. Like, good for her for trying. Like, like I'm gonna go. Like, go over, go leave the ship.
Yeah.
But I'm so coming back, Governor Martin.
So coming back. Totally.
Don't
so
worry
funny.
about a thing. Can I pick you up a cheesesteak or something?
Do you like onions?
So great. And Governor Martin is like, I do like a good barbecue, but I'm not gonna let you do that.
I think you're gonna stay here.
But the governor does say he will send his lackey out with Claire's list, and Claire's like, okay, yeah, okay. Now I'm a little confused, and I need a reminder here. So Major McDonald stops by. And even in the books, this is where I just get all confused because there's so many McDonalds, you guys. There's Flora McDonald, there's Major McDonald. I feel like Major McDonald is their friend for a long time, but then maybe something happens. I don't really remember. Do you remember? And I laugh as I say that. Do you remember, like, Major McDonald, like, why? Like, what happened that he and Claire...
Is he the one that Jamie took the red coat off? And
I don't think so. Maybe.
Because that was his problem with him, was that Jamie quit. Jamie said, I'm not playing
Jamie quit
anymore.
being an Indian agent.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking I don't know. It's funny.
I don't remember. And I mean, like,
I knew him. I knew he's a pain in the ass, but I couldn't remember exactly why.
Right.
And I kept thinking about Jamie taking the red coat off, but you're right. It was more.
Yeah. I don't remember why, like, what the fight was.
Yeah.
But clearly
whatever.
Major McDonald is like a bit of a dick, and Claire doesn't, they did not, there's no love lost there.
Right.
So, okay. So we see a quick flash of Jamie, and he sees a horse. So he's got a little plan in his head based on seeing this horse, but whatever. So we're back to the ship, and McDonald spills the beans about Claire being the murderess. And I gotta say, in his defense, like, if the governor hadn't heard it from him, the word's on the street. Claire's a murderess.
I have to say,
he's going to hear it somewhere.
I have to say that I know they even mentioned that he didn't know and the wife did, but how did he not know and the wife did?
I know. What kind of a, like, head in the sand dude are you, Governor Martin?
What
no
kind
wonder
of,
you're
like,
in so much trouble.
Governor is he? Which was pointed out to him later that you are the governor of North Carolina. Like, I'm sorry, what have you been busy doing in here?
Are you not like talking to anybody, bro? Like, cause like your wife knows that she's the murderess. Like, probably everybody on the ship knows that she's the murderess. How are you not knowing that?
Right. He brought a murderess on the ship to come help his wife. But I'm sure he's a really good governor.
I know. But clearly McDonald has a bone to pick with Jamie because, he's talking about Jamie being a rebel, and it's just none of it's going down very well. But Claire does manage to get her list out. And our Claire uses her noodle. And she sends that list to Tom Christie.
Oh my God, this was the coolest thing in the episode.
I know.
So cool.
And she is smart enough to, like, make a little list that looks good, but then she adds, and I wrote down Vermeos, which in Latin means my husband.
I wrote it down
So Tom
too.
Christie gets it. He's like, okay. I mean, basically what this does is tell Tom, here's where I am. get Jamie's ass onto that boat.
Right. Right.
And Tom goes and finds,
Tom should have been doing anyway. Keep talking.
Right. So Claire tries to talk, we're cutting back and forth to Claire on the boat with the governor. She's trying to talk her way out of being a murderess to the governor. That guy is very good. The actor playing the governor, I meant to look it up, and I don't know what his name is. I'm sorry. And I hate that because I should give the actor the props. And I just haven't had time to find it, so I'm sorry.
You should give the actor the props, but
you should. You should totally.
No. I'm saying it's kind of pun intended, or no pun intended. The props.
If you talk for 2 seconds,
you're saying
I would find it.
She's saying give the actor his propers, which is slang.
I'm saying I didn't even get that.
Give him the props, which sounds like an acting term.
I did not.
I know, and I could tell. And I was like, she's annoyed with me right now because she's not getting my joke.
I totally didn't get it. But the governor is like, he doesn't care so much about Claire, but he wants to know Jamie. Like, where's Jamie standing here? Is Jamie with us or is he against us? That's what
Are you going this way or that way?
Or are you going that way? So Tom tracks down Jamie, gives him the intel, and Jamie shows up at the ship the next day. And then he's like, okay, hi, I need a meeting with the governor. He's like, okay, governor, will you release, much like Claire being like, I'm going to just take a half hour and go get some supplies. Jamie's all like, yeah, so I'm thinking maybe you just release my wife. Cool. Yeah. Good.
I'll be out of your hair.
I'll be out of your hair. I have to say through a lot of the scenes, Jamie's left hand is going crazy. Did you notice that?
Oh my God, I wrote that down.
I'm like this.
I'm whenever you guys see me doing this, I'm right now Googling the governor, but I'm not finding it. But oh my God, I have that written down. I have that damn, I feel like we're kind of in different areas. Damn, I know I wrote that down. Anyway, keep going. I love it.
But there's one point, later on in the scene where they're lying on the bed and he's doing that, but it's the wrong hand. I want to be like, Sam, it's the left hand, not the right hand.
I literally said he's like Patsy.
I know. Our mom does a lot of this kind of stuff. Yeah, but that hand was going. It was going.
Wow, this is I'm so far behind you. Wow. Okay.
Okay. And I know I don't have too much more to do here. So, okay. So yeah, he's like, you can release Claire, whatever. So the governor offers a little deal. He's like, okay, you want to release? I'm good. You go home, you get some guys, say 200. You come back and you fight for the crown. We're good. Your wife gets released. And Jamie's like, this. So now Jamie's in a bit of a pickle. Okay. So,
can I before you move on, can I say a couple things?
Yeah.
It's very hard for me because I don't have the link yet. So I usually follow along while we're talking and I know exactly what's what in my notes. Somehow we got paragraphs past where I am.
Where are we? What are you talking
about? At some point Clara said manipulative bastard to McDonald. And I have it sounds like a band. Manipulative. Where are you going tonight? To see Manipulative Bastard.
That's my high school band name. That's what John said.
Okay, so the Jamie thing, already did that. There was one scene where she was talking to the governor about losing a child. She tried to appeal to the governor's sympathies, whatever, by saying he had lost a child and she knew what that was like to lose a child. Now, I'm certainly not saying that A, miscarriage, or B, stillbirth is an easy thing to go through, seeing as I've been through at least miscarriage twice. But she didn't, like, he lost an 8-year-old child. I kind of felt like that was kind of an interesting conversation they had. Was she talking, I'm guessing she's talking about Faith.
Faith, right.
Right. I don't know. I found that, I didn't find it as horrific as what it was she went through. I didn't find it on par, but I guess she was just trying to come up with some kind of common ground. I loved Jamie's bright red hair. Are we there yet?
On the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie's bright red hair when that boat was coming toward them, and all you could see, I knew they were going to do it before they did it. That boat's way out in the fog, and then it gets closer, and all you're seeing is his red hair. It was almost like the whole thing was done in like black and white, but his hair. You ever see one of those, something online where like the whole thing's black and white, but there's one thing is in color? His hair was the only thing that was in color. It was really, really cool.
Interesting.
I don't even know what this is talking. Oh, when he showed up and they're like making out on the boat.
And the soldier guy's like, hi, hello.
Yeah, but he waited for a second. Like, oh, it was sexy. Like, she pulled back a little and Jamie was still like, I was like, that's one of the hottest things that happened on this series. And she's a prisoner. And I literally just have like, like this guy would allow this. The hugging and kissing is hilarious. I thought it was hot. I was not expecting that. Go back and watch it again, you guys. She stops first and pulls back the tiniest bit, and he's still like, oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, if I was in her position, I'd be pulling back too. I'd be like, we can make out all you want, like once I'm off this fucking ship.
Oh my God. And but then it's like, I'm like delusional, because then that happy moment where I'm like, that was hot. I sound like Paris Hilton. That's hot. Went away because I'm thinking, ew, the breath, all of this kissing, and she was a prisoner. Do you think she's brushed her teeth? No.
Well, I mean, she's a prisoner on the governor's ship. I think that she's getting some perks. It's not, this isn't like Stephen Bonnet's ship. This is a high-end ship. So.
Oh my God. I don't know.
All right. Okay. We got like 20 minutes here. So let's blow through this. Okay. So we're actually at, all right. So Jamie's kind of screwed here, and he's like, okay, what am I gonna do now? So Roger and Bree are at the beach. Basically Roger's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna help him, but I will help him, not by freeing him, but by praying for him.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I found it kind of funny, but just not how I would have handled it. But okay.
And Bree was like, you do that, Raj. As long as you don't use that hammer to pray or anything, I am cool with that. We're all good.
And I felt like Bree's attitude was very, very, I disagreed with it. I thought, you know what? You are telling him not to save someone. That's on your conscience.
Again, I saw both points of view there. I saw both points of view. It was interesting because this is one of there's two big things that happen in this episode, and this is one of them that is not in the show or not in the books. Again, I think we said this, like, as far as I remember, Roger and Donna do not have this moment. There's no, and Bree isn't at the minister training, so none of this happens in the books. So it's kind of exciting because it's like, where's this gonna go? Like, what are they gonna do? I know what happens in the books. How is this gonna impact how we get there?
Yes, and I will say I can see that Bree is like, screw it. I don't care if I'm being unreasonable. I don't care if I'm being whatever.
Right.
He sat back while my mother got hurt.
Right.
So yes.
Mama is all that matters, and like anything else, you're never going to convince me. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I understand. Like, the show did a really good job of, as I said before, sort of showing both sides. And you might side towards one or side or the other, but I think both sides were very clearly laid out.
But he's from her time. He's not
Donner.
Yeah, he's from her time and she knows it. And she knows that he's not trained the way these guys are in the tactics and the fighting and the everything. And
Right. Okay. All right. Let's do the last part because we really only have one more part to do, which is how Claire finally gets off that damn ship. So Jamie and Ian go back to the tavern and Tom Christie is lit. He is imbibed the drink, which is not normally something that happens because Jamie's
that was
you drunk?
Yeah, Jamie was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. Are you having a little drinking?" But I did also laugh that like all of this is going on and they're hitting the pub.
See, and I mean, again, this. I'm pretty sure it was a moment where Ian was just like, "Okay, Tom Christie drunk, sure." Like Blasé Ian, best, it's the best.
Well, not only that, do you ever stop and think about Ian walking around town with his tattoos and his hair, like, and nobody bats an eyelash? And I'm thinking, I would think these people would be a little, I don't know, in the
city. Yeah. Like I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I would want to Google that and sort of find out like where, obviously like on the ridge, seeing Indians is not a rarity, but like in the cities, I think they were supposed to be in New Bern or Wilmington or I don't know where, but yeah, that's a good question. That would be something I'd want to know more about. But this scene with Jamie and Tom Christie. So basically, Tom Christie's like, "I'm gonna take the fall for this." Or, well, no, he doesn't even say this. He's like, I don't remember. Like, does he actually say that he killed Malva here, and like, kind of like cling to that, or does he say like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fix this"? Like, I don't remember when. I don't think he did at this point, but he's just going to take the fall. He's going to fix it. And he and Jamie have a really great scene, and both of them. And again, I meant to like write down the actor's name that plays Tom Christie, and it's like it's Mark something. So bloody good. So good. And the whole like, McDo, what would you say about me? And Jamie's like, I'd say he was an honorable Scot. I was like, oh.
Mark Lewis Jones.
Oh, slow golf clap for him because he was so good. And Jamie's like, he's an honorable Scot and like, basically like made the point about that he was sort of annoying, but like he was a good man. And the scene was so good. So good. And just seeing like Tom Christie a little drunk was hilarious in and of itself.
Was this from the book?
Yes, I believe so.
I found it so incredibly out of character. Tom Christie just did a complete 180.
What do you mean? Get drunk?
Yeah, all of it. Drinking, not being the holier than thou in your face with the Bible verses. He just changed completely.
But he's realized he's changed because he loves Claire, and he's realized that like Claire, like, I mean, he says it later on. He said, I used to search for God, and that was going to save me, and I realized that like that's not what's going to save me. Love is going to save me. Love is worth fighting for. We'll get to that because I have a few things to say about that. So
sorry.
Tom goes to see Claire. He's basically like, "Yeah, I killed Malva," and Claire was like, "Bullshit." And he's like, "No, I really did. I really killed her because she's not my daughter. She's a witch." Like, and again, all of this so good because like. He's really like, he's really convinced of this. He's not lying. He's like, "You're not a witch, Claire, but she was, and my wife was, and she's not really my daughter." And he explains the whole thing. He says that she tried to kill them both, which, Claire should be taken aback by. And the whole thing was just so great. His whole speech, everything was great except one thing. Can you guess what I hated?
No, because I'm still back on Jamie and him.
Oh, all right. Well, go back.
Well, no, go ahead. You're at that moment, so.
No, go. What else did we leave out about he and Jamie? Like what else?
Jamie's execution of "Send Claire back to me" when he cracked on me, I thought was extremely powerful, and I thought it was extremely amazing acting from Sam.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think Sam was really strong in this whole episode. What else?
Keep going. I'm waiting for your comment.
Well, no, I want to know if you what do you think I'm going to say, and I want to know if you thought the same thing. There's one thing in this whole Tom Claire scene that I was just like,
that you didn't like.
Yes.
I don't have it. Because at this point, I'm like, did we know she wasn't his daughter? Did we know? Which one of them?
No, we didn't know that. We didn't. I mean, you might have suspected it, but
no, I'm saying from the books. This is how bad my memory is. I literally was like, oh my God, I don't remember, which is what I kind of like, because if you don't remember, it's kind of fun to relive it all over again. But also you were talking about the show doing things differently than the book. So then I was like, all right, what? It just becomes very gray.
So this is one thing where I went back to the books to make sure that this is not said. And again, we have 15 minutes left. When he's like, I love you.
Oh yeah, no. No, you know what? I didn't mind it because I felt it was like a confession before he goes. I felt like it was like a deathbed confession. Like he knows he's
not. Show, don't tell. That was the lazy writing. Sorry, it was lazy writing. There, I said it. Lazy writing. You people, you viewers are too stupid to figure it out. So we have to make sure you understand that Tom Christie was in love with Claire. Lazy writing.
I don't know. I didn't mind it at all. It didn't.
I was just like, because he's going on. There's a part in the book that says something like that, because it's Claire's narration, and she says something like, Tom Christie smiled, the first time I ever saw him smile, sort of smile, smile as much as he could smile. And the actor, tell me his name again, Mark Brown? Mark Lewis Jones did exactly that. If you watch that scene, he is ever so slightly smiling, or he's just so what he's doing makes him feel satisfied. I mean, I'm not going to say happy, but he is
content.
He's content with what he's doing. Yes. You didn't need to say it. It was clear on his face. And the two of them are good enough actors that you can get that point across without being like, oh, I love you, Connor.
You know what's funny is that I didn't notice that. I noticed the fact that when he left, I was sitting there is there going to be any physical contact? It's not going to be. It's not going to be so cheesy that she's going to hug him. But
here are the documents, Clarice.
No. I literally meant almost like she is standing there. He's confessing his love to her, and that he's going to die for her, and she's just and that he's about to walk out. And I just thought, is there going to be anything? Are they going to do anything to have any kind of physical contact or any kind of? And they didn't, because they couldn't, and because they shouldn't. And to me, that was what's not said. For me, it was what's not done. I don't know. I
think in the book he kisses her hand.
Okay, that would have been interesting. And 100%. I didn't mind it because I kept thinking of a way in my head of how they could have done it. Is there any way she could? I mean, she's standing there knowing this man is about to give his life for hers. She is about to live and be able to go home with her husband and be with her family and live on in life because he is making that so. He's giving the ultimate sacrifice. And I just thought in the split second as it was going there's kind of a beat there where she's, you know, trying to like Tom, no. And he's like, yes, blah, 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 whatever. And it was like a second that I'm like, is there, I guess they can't really, what are they going to hug? Hey, we'll see you later. I mean, you know, so
thanks, Tom.
So that for me, that undoneness of the goodbye, she was respecting him by just because, you know, because there was a lot of bad blood earlier and not necessarily between her, but between Jamie and all of it. I just thought it was a very interesting scene.
Yeah. I love the whole scene. I love the part that you're talking about. You're absolutely right. That she was protesting, but then she just kind of stopped because she, you know,
what else can I do or say?
Yeah, she's not gonna, but he just didn't need to say that. It was just cheesy and stupid. I'm sorry. There you go. It's cheesy and stupid. And it wasn't necessary. And those two actors could have shown without telling. And that's, you know, there you go. That's what it is.
I don't know why, but I really kind of liked it.
I Love You?
I did.
Wow. Tell us what you think in the comments, you guys. I didn't think it was needed. I think you could tell. I mean, it was clear. It's clear episodes ago that he's in love with her. When she's fixing his hands.
I think it was maybe the only time in his whole life he ever told anybody he loved them. I don't know.
I do agree with that. That's a very good point. And
he was going to his death. I think he was like, I'm going for it.
I don't think it was necessary. I think you could show it, not tell it. All right. We are almost done here. So Claire's released. She and Jamie lie on the bed. They talk some. You know, she feels guilty. Jamie would have done the same thing. It was a nice scene. That's all I got.
Did they get into that in the book about her not being his daughter?
Yes.
God. You guys, let me know in the comments if you forgot that.
Well, yeah.
It was, in my defense, it was a really long time since I've read this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I knew that, but I have a feeling that people tell us in the comments too if you suspected that from last season. If that was the parentage was a little like suspicious. All right. So there's one little scene left. I will say that this is not from the books. So we have no clue what's going to happen. This is totally made up. So Claire goes to sleep when Jamie and Jamie are in the bed, and Jamie's like,
what? I'm sorry.
What?
I thought it was very interesting that now she came in on the boat, and you can see her you didn't notice that? And she's coming back and you could see her. I love Claire come in through the fog and she's the only one you can see on the boat, like portrait mode on an iPhone. Like everybody else was like, they might as well not have been there, but she was almost like in Technicolor, it seemed like. I thought that was I
didn't notice that, but
yes. That's when I noticed Jamie's finger doing the whole.
Jamie's finger, when they were on the bed, but it was the wrong finger. It was the right hand. And I was like, oh no, it's the left hand.
Yes.
So Jamie gets out of the bed, you know, he's got something to do. And then we see Richard Brown's room.
When they were falling asleep, when she was falling asleep, well, they had a really lovely conversation in the bed, which I loved to watch. And I absolutely loved when he tells her to rest. She just closes her eyes and just moves over the slightest bit so that her arm is up against his.
Right.
And I just thought that's a later in life marriage. They don't need to be all, you know.
Yep.
I loved it. It brought me back. It was like perfect Jamie and Claire.
Totally. So we see Richard Brown's room. He comes in, whatever, and then he's like, and you know, I don't know what Jamie says, but he's sitting in the chair, you know, being all creepy, like, oh, nice to see you, Richard Brown. yada yada yada. And Jamie says that Ian and his Cherokee friends have hit up Brownville, I guess, to take care of his, reinforcements. Although I thought Jamie pretty much did that, like, when he had everybody killed when they were attacking Claire. But, and then, basically Richard Brown is like, you're not going to kill me in cold blood. And Tracey was like, no, Jamie, you're not going to kill me in cold blood. Oh my God, do it. And then I liked how they sort of like cut to black with Jamie, like being like, black. What do you think? What's going to happen?
Here we go again. I'm like, I'm not remembering this.
Well, then no, that's why I said this doesn't happen in the book.
But hadn't he been was he the decent brother? The other brother was
no, he was the bad brother. Well, they were both bad.
Because he was certainly bad last night.
He's the one. I mean, they took Claire.
And all I could think of was, isn't he the dowager princess? Isn't he her son? Isn't he the brother of the one?
Yeah.
So I just have, Jamie just I make myself laugh sometimes. Jamie just came at Mr. Brown like a spider monkey. Or like Dracula, the way it went black.
It totally was Dracula.
And cut.
And it was really cool.
Very cool.
I'm just like, I don't know where they're going to go with this because, like, A, it's not from the book, so I can't really tell you where they're going to go from this. And B, like, it would be killing him in cold blood. Like, I mean, and Jamie's got a lot to kill him for. Don't get me wrong. Jamie's got like infinite amount of reasons to see Richard Brown done. But you got to do it like formally. You got to like do a duel, or you got to like get the constable and like arrest him for something. And quite frankly, there's nothing to arrest him for. When you look at it, they took Claire to go to trial for the murder of Malva Christie. It's not like an unreasonable thing to do. Now, where it's unreasonable is that Richard Brown basically sold Jamie to go back to Scotland. Like that's a little bit untoward. But like, I don't know. I mean, it's not good that they took Claire. We don't want Claire to be taken anywhere. But like, I don't know that Jamie win that battle in a court of law. Like, oh well, I killed him because he took my wife. I mean, maybe he would. I don't know, but I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Wait, I didn't really think anything's going to happen. I think they're going to move right along and you're not going to see anything else.
You think Jamie's going to kill him?
I don't think it matters. I don't think we're going to hear about it.
I want to think it matters. I 100% think it matters because Jamie's not a murderer. I mean, we had a real problem. If you remember when he killed that guy, the redcoat soldier that he was sort of friends with. Do you remember that a couple of seasons ago? And the redcoat found out that he was like, Jamie was sort of playing both sides. And he was like, oh, I'm going to report you to like Lieutenant blah, blah, blah. And Jamie was like, no, boom. And killed him. And we were like, did Jamie just kill someone in cold blood? And there was a lot of backing and forthing. Like he was protecting his family, da-da-da-da-da. But, I don't know. Any last thoughts?
No, I really would not be surprised if we didn't hear or see anything else about a Brown again.
Oh, I'll take that bet. I think we're absolutely going to see what happens. We have to see what happens. It's a cliffhanger.
I think we have way too much to get to in books, both 7 and 8 in the next however many episodes. But you're telling me the first 4 episodes are still about A Breath of Snow and Ashes. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what happens next week.
Well, when you think about A Breath of Snow and Ashes, all the Stephen Bonnet stuff is from A Breath of Snow and Ashes, but that happened in season 5. There's one big thing that I'm thinking of that has not happened yet, but only one big thing, really, that I think is going to happen based on stuff we know about whatever. And then it's kind of like, what else? Oh, two big things.
So let's end it here.
All right, guys, you know where to find us. MyOutlanderPurgatory.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, please. Please, please subscribe. Let's get us to 4,000.
Can't we have some
subscribers.
like Outlander universe wide plea?
I know, right?
We're the Twilight lexicon of Outlander.
Tell all your friends. Tell all your friends.
We were called that. I didn't make that up.
I know. Tell all your friends that you should watch us because we're awesome and we are fun. And quickly, Carol. Good episode?
Yeah, good episode. I'm looking forward to a little bit more excitement in the next.
I feel like it was like wrap it up.
Yes,
like wrap up that storyline really quickly.
Yes.
But it was good. It kept moving. You know, it was good. It was a solid episode. And I'm looking forward to many more in season 7.
Yes.
All right, guys. Yeah. I gotta go. Carol has to go. We're back. And it's great to see you guys. And we'll see you next week.
We're going to have a fun season.
Woo-hoo.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.